Hello, I'm Mayor Joyce Downing. Welcome to Northglenn Now, all about what's new in Northglenn. My guests today are David Willett, Northglenn's Director of Public Works, and the Northglenn Police Chief, Jim May. Our topic is the new Justice Center. I am so happy you're here today. Thank you so much for coming. David, I would like to know, you've been involved with the new Justice Center for a while now, and it's all about efficiency and function. Can you tell us the need, why there is such a need for the center?
Well, I'd like to start off with say, usually Jim just tells me that he needs a need, but
Yes.
that isn't how it happened this time. Jim's been around a lot longer than I have, 7 years, and I've had some good experience with the police staff. In 2014, however, we contracted with an architectural consultant to do a spatial assessment of the police station and how the station operates, how it would be more efficient if we were lucky enough to get a new police station. So that's where it started in 2014, and then grew from there into more of a building and design phase.
Okay. How was the site for the building selected?
It's a great question. When you look at the types of events that the city puts on in Webster Lake, E.B. Rains Park, and the police station, I think intuitively a police station doesn't really go there. I mean, there are events where the police have to come out and respond in a quick nature or an emergency nature. So we were looking at sites that potentially were more efficient and were safer for the police. The first site that came to mind was the what we call the tower site. It's up at the end of Community Center Drive, near where Boondocks is. It's very handy to both Huron Street and to Washington Street. There are a few lights in between, and those lights will be synced so the police can get to either of the corridors very quickly. That site is roughly 6 acres, so it had plenty of room for the police, and it's centrally located. So when you consider the safety issues and basically being able to access two of the major arterials very quickly, that site became the first site and the chosen site for the building.
Okay. And that answers my other question, why would you separate it? So that's very interesting. Jim, you must be really excited about the new Justice Center. Tell us a little bit about it.
I've been with the city now for 24 years and working for the police department. And since I've been here, we've been through 3 remodels of our current police department. And I like the saying is you can only reconfigure the egg cart so many times, it still only fits 12 eggs. So we have off-site storage. Some of the things we have currently do not meet some of the federal standards, especially incarceration of juveniles. So there's a lot of internal problems, and I knew this. Actually started in 2011. Saying, hey, we need to really look at this police department. And then David, I think it was even earlier in 2014. And David went to him and said, hey, can you guys really look at what's going on downstairs and everything else, because we had problems with other mechanical systems and everything else that was really adversely affecting how we could do our jobs. So after that, then council and David recommended, hey, let's bring in an outside source and we'll get this squared away. So since then, it's amazing. I never thought we'd be this close, but we are very close. I'm super excited. This building, the layout, the efficiencies of it, it's going to be amazing how it's going to be for us. So the location, we don't have to MacGyver anything anymore. So it's all going to be set for us. So because right now we have to put in extra steps, and so we lose time and everything else. So the new building is well thought out. We used a national firm who has experience in building police departments and courtrooms. So we're way ahead of the game. We're doing it right.
And I'm glad you mentioned the court also, because that will also be included in the Justice Center. So, David, when the courts and the police department move, how are we going to use the space that's vacated?
That really hasn't been decided yet. There's several opportunities. There's expansion for other city administrative services, potential storage there, so there's multiple uses. But this site and the building will fall into our master planning, which we're currently doing right now for basically what we call the city center and campus site, which is The City Hall Administration Building sits smack dab right in the middle of the site now. So when that planning gets completed, those questions will be answered.
Okay. So David, I believe we had a meeting with the residents in the general vicinity where we're going to have the new site. That seemed to go well?
It went very well. You know, one of the things we want to do early is strike out early and reach out to certainly to all of the community, but most importantly early with the neighbors close by. I mean, they'll be the ones that'll be most impacted. They were concerned with the lighting of the facility, the noise that comes from the cars of the facility, concerned about things like detention. Everybody knows that, you know, most of these big sites have to have stormwater detention. Our particular site is going to be very modern, where all the light is down lighting. We use LEDs when we can in all aspects of the building, not only for brightness, but it's power. It conserves power. The detention, as I mentioned a minute ago, will be underground, so the residents won't see any above ground water storage there. And the noise is going to be acoustically designed, so loud noises from the police car, for instance, sirens won't be broadcast through the neighborhood. And all of that was presented at a public meeting, was very, very well received.
Well, we're in the design phase right now. Can you give us some information about the timeline and when you expect to have it open?
Sure. There's 3 phases which architects like to refer to in the design phase. There is a schematic phase, which is really nothing more than pencil drawings and kind of validating the space assessment and adjacencies of the police services. The second part of the design services is what the architects called design development, and that's more detail and some architectural standards like facades, interior flooring, things like that, and that is the stage that we're currently in now. We basically started, I believe, around the first of the year, this year, and within the next month we will actually start producing construction documentations, or what we as engineers call bidding documents, building documents for the contractor to actually build the facility. We expect to have a contractor on board. This particular project will be a real partnership, because we are going to bring the contractor in early in the project before the design's done, so that the contractor actually has a say in pricing and materials used. Hopefully, get the best products for the best available pricing. And it'll be a partnership between the architect, the owner, which is the city of Northglenn, and of course the contractor. When that starts that particular phase, and the CDs should be done by the end of this year. We hope to break ground sometime, I would say, April of 2017, and I expect the project to be about an 18-month project.
Great. Jim, you and your officers, as well as the judge, had a lot of input into the design process. In fact, I understand there was a committee that selected the consultant and provided a lot of information. Can you tell us about that whole process?
Well, we did. It's the work groups within the different, we have 4 divisions within the police department. You know, and then also those that work in those areas to assist them with the efficiency. So we did some tours of other newer modern police facilities, and doing that, it was like there's things that were like, geez, you know, we didn't even know some of this stuff existed on how they, for instance, the property evidence room. You know, we have a lot of people come in, and then we have to, you know, right now it's a big ordeal trying to grab all the equipment and bring it out to them. Well, now in the new building, the people picking up any, you know, lost property or picking up property can go just down the elevator, go to a window, and the property evidence technician can release it right to them. When people come out and they, make bail, so we have built some efficiencies in there too, so they can go right out and right up and do their bail. So. Before we had to do a lot of different steps to make that happen, so we're cutting down on a lot of those steps. So it was imperative to get the officers in the workflow and all of that and their ideas, and once we put it all together, we saw the other facilities, we worked on how we do our business, and then we put together probably one of the best designs of a police department that I've seen. So, and yeah, kind of, but it's nice. It's very nice. It'll work well.
Well, I have to ask this question now. How much is this going to cost?
Right now, the building is around, and again, just to qualify my responses are, the building's around $22 million, and there's about $2 million of ancillary projects, for instance, improvements to Community Center Drive. It would be a big job that went with the building. And you know, going back to my earlier discussions about bringing the contractor on board, the real price will be derived through what I'm calling a construction manager at risk type of contract, where the contractor, before he signs a contract, will sign a guaranteed maximum price, and that's when we'll know the whole price. And my target price is lower than that price, and as we work through the costing models, it is a dynamic document, and we're constantly cognizant of the cost right now, and we're going to hone this in and make sure we control the costs.
Okay, thank you. One last question, Jim. What's the best thing about having a new Justice Center?
We've been living out of tight spaces for so long now. I think having more space, a locker room that is, you know, decent. I think that was one of the priorities, of, you know, because our facility right now is really bad. And a safe environment for my property evidence people with good ventilation, an area for my admin staff and my record staff where they're not always dealing with mold issues or air quality issues, a safe environment for them working there. I think that's the exciting, and plus recruiting. I mean, if you have a new building, it's very challenging recruiting officers today for a lot of different reasons. But when you have a state-of-the-art police facility, I think that's going to assist us and help us with our recruiting. So there's a lot of great things that I see happening with this building. And plus, I'm an energy guy, so with council deciding on, you know, the mechanical systems and the solar, you know, the city over time is going to save a lot of money with, you know, because it'll almost be like a net zero building. So that's really exciting too. So, I mean, there's a lot that I'll keep going. One thing that was very important, you know, from the beginning was to have a community room. And that's another part of this building that we don't currently have in the city anywhere, where, you know, community groups can come and you know, reserve the room for meetings and that kind of stuff. So that was very important in the beginning, and I know it was for you and council to have a place where we can do that, and this new facility will be able to do that.
And you're right. I mean, we look forward to having a community room in the center, so that'll be great. Again, thank you so much for coming, and thank you for watching Northglenn Now. And for more information, please visit www.northglenn.org.